Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we venture into the exciting world of chat as code development. So, tonight we are unraveling how we can innovate WhatsApp customer support using Spring Boot and LangChain4j.
Oh, all right, let's go. We will try to make a WhatsApp as a chatbot now, right? So let's try this one and we have a fun, right?
Yeah, sure. So, we have some exciting topics lined up challenges with current chatbots, chat as a code, Agentic AI platform, and of course, a live demo to see this in action. Let's dive in. So I'm Erlina. I'm from Jakarta. It's an island on Java, you call it, right? In Indonesia. And yeah, so
Yeah, my name is Lofi. Also come from Jakarta, Java. So we are both from Java, and this is a very good actually because this is a Java conference, right, Erlina?
yeah, so that
And
fits somehow, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and this is the honor of 30th anniversary of Java. So we will see some nice pictures of Java, right? And some Meru and whatsoever what we have there.
Lombok, Bali. So we hope
No,
you
no,
are.
no, no Lombok, no
No,
Lombok,
Lombok,
because we
okay.
hate the Lombok. No, 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 no. That's a joke. That's only a joke. But Lombok is such a kind of tool in Java, right? But whether the people like it or don't
Don't like
like
it.
it, all right.
All right.
So
So we hope you enjoy our technical journey accompanied by these stunning images. So this is our agenda. We are going to show you some challenges with current customer service chatbots and how we could tackle that by introducing the chat as code. And also, of course, how the agentic AI platforms here comes to play. While we are going to show you how to develop that the WhatsApp support chatbots. And of course, last but not least, the live demo and the best practices that we can conclude at the final. Well, as you can see here, we are going to start this with the elephant in the room. The many challenges with traditional customer service chatbots.
yeah, as you can see here in the picture, right? It's Jakarta, a very chaotic cable situation. We find it everywhere, right? So yeah, it's some kind of like that. It's a very chaotic one.
So spaghetti code, what you can say.
Yes, 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 yes.
Similar, right? So exactly. So basically, they struggle with poor handling of complex customer queries, and they limit the personalization and contextual understanding, basically. And how about the response? Is some kind of inconsistent, I would say here.
Yes, yes, that's really true. If you can see here, you always have you can always get the menu, right? So you can choose something, but actually the chatbot doesn't understand you, right?
Yeah.
So it's always a hey, I don't understand really what you are talking here. Please choose one of this menu, right?
Yeah.
It's always something like that, and this is crazy. I really feel stressed, if I have to talk with such chatbots
Right,
to
right.
ask
So
for something, right?
just leaving the users frustrated, especially on a platforms like WhatsApp. That's what we can see here.
Yes, and it's not chatting, it's just maybe if you can program something with WhatsApp, but it's actually not the target to have such a chatbot, right? The target is actually to help the other user to ask something, to make a conversation with
Right,
it,
right,
right?
right. Yeah. So, but don't you worry, we have the solutions here of these problems.
Do you think so?
I think so. The
Okay.
solution that you don't need, to take swimming lessons or vacuuming here the lake.
Okay, great. So let's continue.
Let's continue. Yes. So what does it here
Yes,
say?
and this is actually our secret sauce, right? The chat as code. This is
Exactly.
not cat as code, but
Yeah.
I say, come on, it's some kind of cat as code because I like cat.
I know you are a cat person.
Yes.
I'm a dog person.
All
so.
right, so we're cat and dog, right?
Yes,
That's
right.
great.
So first, let's break this down.
All right.
A large language models, or LLMs, are programs trained to read, understand, and write text almost like human.
All right, and you can think as such a super smart parrot, that can read the internet cover to cover, and it's amazing. It can recognize actually the whole language pattern. So it's actually just like you feel that you talk with someone, right? If you're talking with
Yeah.
LMs, but it's not like that. The real how it's working is not like that, but really really nice actually.
So don't expect it to write a Shakespearean play from scratch, right?
But
So
it can copy, right? So you
right,
can.
right. So now Chat as Code takes this further by enabling developers to integrate chat functionality directly into their code.
Yeah, let's take about that bit. So actually, in the beginning, we have to try to categorize the AI for software development, right? So you have actually two parts which you can say, okay, on the left part, we have here software development process support copilot. It means that I'm as a developer and I have my tools which actually can support me in my development process, right? On the right side, I can also use the AI in my application. So I can integrate the AI in my application. Here, if we go on the left side again, you can see here the macro process of developing. You have analysis phase, design, implementation phase, and operation phase. All will be supported by AI nowadays, right? And the micro process, you coding, you make refactors, compile tests, and run debugs, packaging, deploying, and you always have today such a copilots. GitHub Copilot is one of the
Right,
example.
yeah, yeah. So,
So, and what about the right side? And what do you think about that?
use of the AI in applications. So basically, you can use the libraries, right,
All right.
for analysis and for model training, and also integrating them into a, what do you call it, generative AI,
Yeah.
where the LLMs and other models also in application they can be integrated in the usage of this AI in application.
Yeah, and I think our session today is about on the right side. So it's about how to integrate the LLMs into the applications, right?
Correct.
So it's not about the on the left side. It's not about supporting development process, but we are taking a look the deep into the integration of LLM in our applications.
Okay, let's go to the next slides then.
All right. So this is actually the very simple algorithms if you want to implement something in Java, right? You just write an algorithms. In this case, you want to transform a content of CSV file into one-liner of string, right? So you read the file, you try to transform it with the for loops, and then you write it at the end another file which just have one line. So this is just a normal way how we can implement such an algorithm. And of course, today you can use GitHub Copilot to generate this kind of codes,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And that's actually quite nice. So the second thing is actually this is what we call the chat as code. So it means that we integrate actually directly the functionality of chatting into our algorithm, right? So
Right.
the same algorithm was we have shown before. In this case, we just say to the LMs, please provide the concatenated email addresses in a single line separated by semicolons from following input. So we don't write the for loops, we don't do the whole algorithm manually or supported by GitHub Copilot. We just say to the LM, hey, please, I want to have following results. So actually input, processing, output. So this is actually what we call the chat as code. So you integrate directly the chat functionalities into the code development. We also have problem in this case, but let's see later on.
Let's see later on. Right. So, why is this so revolutionary? Because chat of code is so versatile. You can use it in application code and also in CI/CD, what you call it, continuous integration and deployment. You can use it as a scripting and also as infrastructure as code.
Yeah, actually we can use it everywhere, right? So
Exactly.
instead of doing such a process thing, you just say, come on, we just ask the LM to do something for us, to deliver the result.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very good.
But be careful. LLM is stochastic machine. So its results are inherently non-deterministic.
Correct. And that is actually the problem, right? You can see every time you ask an LM, you get maybe a different result, right? So you have to be careful about that. And this is actually the whole things. What we, of course, we can try to optimize that part, the non-deterministic part, but still, you have always to think about it, like you said before, stochastic machine. So you need to be careful about the result because it's always different, the result, every time you ask.
Yeah, it's like a human, right? Sometimes.
Yes, that's really true. It's like a human.
Right.
That's really true.
So let's talk about how chat as code now work, right? So this is the reference architecture of the chat as a code. So let's talk about it. How this works, and also how this works under the hood. I mean, I think we should summarize this as a reference architecture for cat or chat as code, right? So
Yes, very good. Yeah, definitely. And it's actually, if you see here in the diagram, it's very simple. Instead of writing the algorithm by yourself, you just ask the LM to do the algorithm for you. And of course, before that, on the right side here, you can see you have to have LM first, right? So you have to train the whole data into the LMs. And then afterwards, you have the LMs and you can use the LMs. Okay.
so we can just rely on LLMs as our algorithm provider.
Yes.
Okay. Right, then let's leap from chat as a code to the agentic AI platform. So if chat as code gives your application conversational intelligence, agentic AI takes it up to notch by enabling the AI systems to act with purpose, autonomy, and minimal human intervention. So let's take a closer look how this platform is structured and why it's such a game changer. Right, now let's go to the platform that is so agentic and so nice here. This is Flores.
Have you been in Flores?
Yes, of course.
All right.
It's a very famous island in Indonesia. It is located in the East Nusa Tenggara in Indonesia, and where nearby the famous Komodo Dragon Island
Oh yeah, I see it on the right
is
side, right?
the world's
Oh.
largest lizard, and it can grow until 3 meters long, basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Right.
some kind of a dinosaur or something like that. I don't know.
Well, it has obviously yeah, and science dinosaurs
All right.
background, of course. Yeah. So talking about this, let's leap to from chat as code to the agentic AI platform. So what is agentic AI? What is this? It refers to a system that can pursue objectives, make decisions, take actions, all with minimal human intervention.
All right. So it mostly it's a standalone and it can do everything what it likes, or so it looks very dangerous actually, right? Huh?
Well, we are talking about AI, right? So it doesn't really need hands holding. That
All
still
right. All right.
knows
So
how to hold polite conversation.
okay, it's only about conversation. So it's just talking. Luckily, right? It's not like a
Right.
what to call it, a Terminator who can always do everything by themselves. All right.
Right, I'll be back. So the agentic AI
Yes.
platform is built on a robust architecture where business process comes first and AI comes second.
Right.
This is a principle. This principle is non-negotiable, and for a good reason. Why? Because clarity in business processes is critical before building the AI platform, right?
All right. So it's actually the business process you said is first. All right. So this is the foundation, right? And on here on the ground, this one. And okay, you have a BPMN model, so you can do the business process.
Right.
And after that, after you know the business process, you can optimize the business process using AI, right?
Yeah. So basically, the business process define the real world use cases. So the day-to-day challenges, opportunities, and workflows that are unique to each specific domain. So imagine trying to teach a chatbot without knowing the kinds of question it needs to answer or the problems it's supposed to solve.
Okay.
That's what's happened when you build the AI first and figure out the business processes later. So it's putting the cart before the horse, basically. So let's address how important question. How do you get started building these systems?
All right.
That's where we arrive at the key decision point. Low code, no code versus.
Love code. All
Yes.
right. So this is actually yes. In the beginning, we have to ask ourselves, do you have knowledge in software development? If you say no, we don't. Our team doesn't have such a knowledge in software development, so we just go for a low code, no code platform, right? So we have the low code platform from Cognigy, for
Yeah.
example, for the customer support.
Great platform, by the way.
Yes, yes, we have been there, right, to see
Yeah,
the
we've been in
conference.
the
Really
conference.
very nice. And also you have in Azure the AI Foundry platform is for general purpose. I think for low code and no code. In that case, mostly you don't also need to have the ability to code because you can use drag and drops, And
So you don't really need deep technical expertise, basically. So,
Yeah.
but if you have the expertise in coding,
all right.
then what happened? Welcome to the love code.
Yes,
Where the
we
developers
love code.
shine.
Yes, this is my
Your playground of
My
coding
playground,
enthusiasts. Right.
Yes.
So offering customization and precision and the thrill of building robust solutions from the ground up.
Yes, and if you love to code and you love Java, right? We are in Java conference, right? So
Yeah.
you love Java, and this is the way you can choose between Spring Boot or any other frameworks like Micronaut, Quarkus, etc. And then you have such a framework explicitly for the agents for AI platform, and we have actually two at the moment, at least in Java, two different kind of frameworks, LangChain4j, and also for Spring you have a Spring AI. So if you use Spring Boot, you have two choices, right? On this side, the LangChain4j and Spring AI.
Right.
And
So,
today we show you the LangChain4j, right? Because
Right.
we love code.
yes,
all
we
right.
love code. Yeah. Well, now let's go to Bali in 2023. As you can see here, there are couple of Balinese dancers with different kind of roles. It's like the agent, basically. But what is your role here, actually, Lofi?
Oh, I'm developing the solution, right?
Oh, got
No,
it,
I'm
got
just
it.
a tourist there.
Got it, got it. So, okay, got you. So here's how we love code by developing our WhatsApp
All right.
support AI agent. How do we do that? So basically, we are going to use the natural language understanding with the context of awareness and memory, right? And also, it should have multilingual capabilities, right? So, how about the
Oh, the tech stack, yes, of course. This is, of course, what we actually need to build such a love code solution for WhatsApp. Okay, we have Java, right? We need the Java part. We have the Spring Boot and our LangChain4j. And then, for example, in this case, in our example, we use Olama. Olama is actually for the local LMs, so the
Right.
open source LMs. We use that one because it's very easy to install locally. And of course, at the end, on the right side, you see here, we have a WhatsApp, right? This is our client. And we use Twilio just to make it easier to integrate together with the WhatsApp. Actually, we don't have to, but Twilio makes everything very easy. We have ngrok. This is also a very interesting solution because in the beginning, if you build a solution, you will do everything just locally in your laptop, in your MacBook, and then you have to have such a gateway so you can call or WhatsApp or through the Twilio can call the ngrok to your local Spring Boot application. And of course, in production, if you need to go to the production for that part, you need such a platform like Azure. Right? So this is actually the whole tech stack what we need to build our solution. Okay, and this is actually the whole components for LangChain4j. You have in the middle the so-called AI service, the agent, and as you can see here, around. You have the models, the LLMs part. You have here the memory part. You have here the chat part with the whole chat message system and user message. You have on the left side the knowledge area, the rack, and so on. And you also have here the tooling. So you can call actually the whole external API to make to enrich the agent with such a new process from your application. And
Right.
this is will be extended as I learned it from LangChain4j. The next part, we have a tools provider for the model context protocol, but that's for the later part.
Right. Well, now we can talk about the system architecture. So how does it process the whole things? So the user basically sends message via WhatsApp, and the request flows through WhatsApp Business and Twilio. They will be combined, of course, and the ng-rock for local development to Spring Boot backend. And then the direct response to let the user knows that we processed the inquiry. This is really important stage, right?
Correct, because in WhatsApp Business only wait for about 15 seconds,
15 seconds, yeah.
before it gets time out.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we need to just directly response to the request.
Yeah. And then you need LangChain4j processes to query the LLM. And then the asynchronous response return to WhatsApp through Twilio and WhatsApp Business. And then you are set. And this is how the application architecture for the Agentic AI platforms look like.
All right. So and if you need to deploy into the production, right? So you can use Azure platform, and this is all the services Azure platform actually offering to you. You have a so-called Azure App Service. It's actually the easiest way to host your Spring Boot web app. So you can install there, and you can at the end you can deploy it to the production. You have the Azure OpenAI. This is especially a service from Azure AI for the OpenAI GPT models. If you want to actually to use the GPT model from OpenAI, you can use Azure OpenAI. And you also have the so-called Azure AI model inference. They call it also as a part of Azure AI Foundry today. This is actually to power the other LLMs available. So you can use DeepSeek, you can use Llama, and whatsoever other models you have there, and you can use it in your Spring Boot web app through the LangChain4j. All right.
Right. So before we start with the live demo, I'd like to tell you about what is the picture behind this actually. It's we call it Merapi volcano. Why? Indonesia is consists of a ring of fire, what you call it, and a ring of fire where the volcano Merapi is coming from. It's really hot, so it's like the live demo basically. Now let's talk about the star of the show, Mila, our AI agent, who is actually a customer support for the company Daisun. Well, designing Mila wasn't just about functionality, it was about giving her a personality, a persona that aligns perfectly with Daisun's values and customer expectation. Why does that matter? Because when customers interact with Mila, they are not just talking to an AI, they are experiencing the voice of Daisun. So think of Mila as our representative digital twin. So what is the purpose actually? So these are some best practices for the AI agent persona Mila. And this is the very important things about creating an AI agent persona, that the knowledge management. So the AI agent has to know the company history and also the SLA or the terms of service for managing customers, and also address the data such as customer data management. This is the domain, right? So address data management, etc. Now we are getting into the most interesting part, namely the demonstration.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Right. So we have 4 use cases. So let's directly start with the first one. The first use case is that the customer will try to interact with the agent, with Mila, right? So
Yes,
our
Mila,
agent.
our agent, yes.
And we also would like to try and show you the local LLM where we use the Llama 3.2, sorry.
Yes, 3.2,
That
yes.
that has only 2 gigabyte file size and also only have 3 billion parameters.
Yeah, very small one, so it's
Very small one that your computer or
Can
our
manage.
computer can manage or can handle. And just want to show you on the contrary, we also will show you the Llama 3.3 that has 43 gigs file
Yes.
size and how many parameters?
70 billion, so
billion
something
one.
like that, yes.
Yeah.
Quite huge one.
Yeah.
And
Okay, yeah.
accurate. All right.
We can show you directly.
Okay, so
First
what should I ask?
So I'm a user and just say, hello, I'm Erlina. Can you help me?
All right.
Oh,
All right, of course, you're welcome to ask anything. Well, I don't
That's
have the
really
ability to browse the internet access. All right, I don't know why he's talking like that.
well, this is the local one, right? So it's not really trained and also not really intelligent.
Okay, in the background, actually like
Please
that.
show.
If we asking, hello, I'm Erlina, can you help me? The Twilio can only give you an access for about 15 seconds, so you have to directly answer, and then afterwards, in the asynchronous way, you then afterwards give you the correct, the real questions. So therefore,
real
you
answer.
or the real answer. All right. So you have this one. 2 times, therefore, right?
Yeah.
This is the second one. Is the right
There are
one?
two
This
boxes.
is actually only the hello. How
Exactly.
you, please wait.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
All right.
This is with the local one.
Yes.
Do you want to
Show with the non-local one, right? So let's try that one. The non-local one.
As you can see here, there are different kind of LLM, and yeah, you can show
the non-local one.
The non-local one.
Okay, let's try to
This
do
is
that one.
The local one.
Yes, let's try the non-local one.
So we use the temperature 0.5.
This is the non-local one. Is the with the grok. All right, the 70 billion versatile, and then the grok one is all right. So let's try this one, and I have to change the code first to use the
customer agent.
Okay, grok is actually using OpenAI model, so I have to have an OpenAI chat model, but it's actually using Llama 3, the versatile one.
The ngrok, yeah.
The ngrok, yes. The versatile one. So let's try this one. So let's chat again. Hello.
Hello, I'm Erlina. Can you help me? No. Oh.
Ah, looks better. Looks better, right? This is actually much better. This is actually what we have putting in the persona, right? The Mila, yeah, and also helpful and so on, and also the knowledge management. Daisun is the company.
Also has been introduced the itself from the Daisun is the company name.
Yes.
And also very friendly. Could you please tell me a little bit more about what's on your mind? So it's really sophisticated, I would say.
Yes.
And yeah, if so she knows directly her role. I mean, or he or Mila knows his role, and also the conversation here, as you can see, is really directed to the correct direction, to manage about customer data, about updating any address, so he knows or she knows what to do.
Yes, Very nice. Okay, let's go for the second one. Just let the bigger model turn on, right? So
Yeah, we can.
we just try it. All right.
So the biggest model. Okay.
Okay.
Now we would like to show how to read and create the data set in the database.
All right. So first, let me show you that we actually already have a database working in the background. Right, we use H2 in-memory database. So very easy. We have two table here, address and customer. And I've checked the like from customer. I have one and only customer already existed. I put it in the flyway, so it's already directly inserted there. We have a customer, Brandy Doe, 40 years old, with the email john@gmail.com.
Okay.
All right, so
let's type in the Twilio. My email is, maybe you can copy.
Yes, wait a second. I just type it.
Yeah. My email, john@gmail.com.
Gmail.com. All right.
Can you print all my data?
Can you print all my data? I think that's all right.
Yeah.
Let's go for that.
Hit enter.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the first 15 seconds, right,
Oh.
right? And then apologize, and
What is
there is a customer get my customer in. That's
not as
that's
working
not
as we expected, right?
Is it the local one, or is it
This
the
is
bigger one?
the bigger one, actually.
Maybe we
really
should-
weird. We should maybe change
we-
to the local
we
one
should
again.
switch to the
right?
local one,
Because actually it's quite correct, right? Because this is showing us actually, hey, I will have to call the get customer by email function in my database for the john@gmail.com, but it seems that it doesn't give it back the real value for it. But let's check it out. We changed that one back to the normal because we tested the whole time with the local, right? So
Yeah.
it's cheaper for us. All right, so let's go. Oh no, sorry. Just turn off this everything, and we take back the customer agent, just using the
That's so
Olama
weird
model.
because the bigger one, you actually increase the temperature, right? So 0.5.
Yeah, wait second, customer Olama chat model. All right, this should be like that. I just restarted for sure. Okay, so we have restarted the application for sure. All right, let's go now, check again. Just the same. I just copy and paste this one, right? So,
Sure. I'll be quicker. So now
the local back to
one,
the local one, the small
the
one.
small one.
Oh, okay. The first one, I don't know what again, but this is correct, right?
Yes.
Here's your customer data. Customer ID is 1. Brandy Doe, John email, 40 years old.
So it
And also the address, where I checked it in the database. We have the address file. This is correct.
and the address.
The address, that one. So extend from addressed. Okay, to connect again because it's already restarted.
Yes.
New York,
Okay.
1234 Main Street. Is that correct? 1234 Main
correct.
Street. Correct. So it reads actually
Bravo.
the content.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, that was the second use case. Now let's move to the third use case. This is also very interesting. I would like that my data as a customer will be created.
Okay.
So please type.
So before that, maybe
Okay.
let's change the first one because it's actually only for waiting, right? So this is quite boring. Let's change that part so we have a nicer response there, right? So let's go for the application
The 15.
controller, the Twilio. So this is actually the chat for waiting. I just say delete this one and just putting ... So
Yes.
it's just very
That
simple.
you know that
Waiting.
the customer knows that the response
It's waiting.
is gonna come, and then
Yes. Just maybe just very simple, right? All right. So just
commit.
make a restarting, and no need to just restart that
Restarted
one. Okay, quite sure. All right, let's go for the next.
So now
So-
please type. I am new here. Please create And please create a new customer
sorry,
for me.
and please create a new customer for me. And what's the data? Do we need the data for this one? I think so. What's the name?
My name is
Okay.
Erlina.
Erlina. Okay. What else do we need? Email address?
Yes, please.
My email.
My email is
Erlina
erlina@info.com.
All right.
That's
What
it.
else?
That's
The age. We need the age, I think.
Well, I think
that's not the okay. I say 1 year old, right? Okay.
no, just
my age.
Then I will need my parents to ask this agent, right? So let's go.
Then 18. You are 18, right? So very young.
Forever
okay.
18.
Forever. Yes, old. That's good. Okay, let's try one. All right. Okay, just make a dot, right?
Yeah. Perfect.
So
Yeah,
there. All right.
Address is now.
Okay, no address. I don't put
Yeah.
any address. So let's check it whether we have the data
Yes,
now in the
please.
database, right?
Please.
So let's check it. Make a reload and connecting. So the customer and run. And you see here, Erlina, you're 18.
Yeah, absolutely marvelous.
Marvelous. Yes. Great.
Now,
okay, so what else? What next?
So now maybe you would like to explain the structure of the appliances.
All right. So let's try.
Not appliances.
The application. All right. So as you can see here, we have the Spring Boot application, right? So I close everything. This is the structure of the application. And by the way, the application is all in GitHub,
In
right?
the GitHub, yes.
So, and you can see here that we have the whole class. I don't use, in this case, I don't use any folder, but use the suffix, for the repository, for the DTO, for the agentic service tool, and so on. You can take a look. And the controller, this is actually the Twilio WhatsApp controller. What's actually very interesting is for the part, because if you tip the things, and it will go here as a webhook, and then you see here the waiting text directly send it back to the Twilio and WhatsApp. And in the meantime, we have here asynchronous operation with async in Spring Boot, very easy. This is actually the real customer agentic server, the agent itself, which actually you chat with.
Yes.
So this is actually connected to the LM. In this case, our local Llama 3.2 LMs. And then afterwards, you get the result back, send it to the WhatsApp. So this is the code about, and we have a lot of testing, of course, right?
Yeah, this is the
a lot of testing.
Yeah.
Automatic testing, very important.
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
very difficult if you don't have that one, because non-deterministic mean you need to know what kind of a result you have, and you need to evaluate the result, right? Yeah. So that was the first part, and then we can show you the Twilio. Right, this is the Twilio. Yes, the Twilio dashboard. You can see here we have a sandbox. We get the sandbox.
That looks sophisticated,
and everything is here, and you can. This is actually the part when if someone sending the message in the WhatsApp, it will call this webhook. Yes. And as you can see here, this is an ngrok free app. This is the part where ngrok connected to your local development environment.
Yes.
So and now it's showing the ngrok. This is the ngrok part.
The platform, yes.
The platform, and then you can see here that it will take care of the connecting from the ngrok part to the local.
To your upstream service.
Yeah. To our local service, which I started here just in the laptop, right? This one. Correct. The local host. So as we have shown them, right, the structure, communication structure actually just work like that. So it's very simple. So this is the Grok Cloud. We use it also a bit to use the bigger model, right? The
Llama model, yeah.
3.3, 70 billion.
70 billion versatile on demand.
Yes, which is bigger than our local. If you want to test with this, very also nicely working just fine. And also we have a Swagger here just a Swagger client to see to test the whole
Before
conversation
you
before you use
before you
the
post it
Twilio,
into
because in
Twilio,
Twilio you have
you
also
have to
only pay, and you have only some kind of
limited
water. Yeah.
autumn.
All right.
Okay.
And
Well,
last but not least,
yes,
this is
it's
our
very important as
database.
well, the database, yeah,
Okay, to
of the
check
customer.
whether the customer is created and so on, and then and then our WhatsApp here with the Twilio number, right? So we check that
Yes.
directly with Twilio in this case.
Yeah.
So this is a picture of Bromo, also another hot volcano in Java, right? So the first thing is actually before you're beginning to develop an agent, you should take a look at the whole design patterns video. At the moment, we have a lot of articles about this part. This is all the articles you need to know about how to design such agents with best practices and design patterns. The second thing, as a developer, today you have just a CRUD application development using Spring Boot. You have here, for example, a REST controller folder. You have a service, a repository, and the entities. This is the normal structure what we have always in such a CRUD application development. And with an additionally to the agent part, you surely need agentic service folder, the agent part, because you have to define what kind of agent you have there, what LLMs you want to access with that agent, and also the tooling part. And most of the time, maybe you could use the tool which is doing the access to the database,
Right.
so to the repository folder. And the rest of the things is actually almost the same, right? This the folder structure. And this is, of course, only for the love code architecture, right? With the Spring Boot in this part.
Exactly.
So what about the agents part? Yeah, the agents part is also very interesting because there's some workflows. You have a business process, but you have, and you can also actually doing the combination of the whole agents in just a small, simple micro agents. So if you can see here in this example, if someone asking about the chat, and then you have a protector agent which take a look whether the request is a secure request one, and you can each agent can have its own LLMs. So very micro, very task oriented. And after that, you have a classification agent. If you want to classify something, you can make a recommendation, and then you have a text creator agent. You can put it all together, this some kind of small micro agents, and everything also with a combination of a different kind of LLMs. Provider, correct. Right. And this is also quite interesting because you can combine between the local LLMs and also the remote one from OpenAI or from Azure, a remote provider like this one.
Correct.
One thing that's really important, in my opinion, as a developer, is to test. Always to automatically test the result, because as we talked before, right?
Yes.
The result is always non-deterministic, so it's very hard to see the result, and therefore you need surely the integration test, automatically integration test. You always can automatically test the result, whether it comes as you expected or not.
So there is no integrated function basically in Lang4j, but then you can use Spring AI that with this interface evaluator, right, with some implementation.
Yeah, the Spring AI has such a evaluation things. But that's maybe another story for Spring AI, because it's another framework. But the LangChain4j it doesn't have that such integration part. What is actually quite interesting, you can also use test container. So you start the whole LLMs in the test container in Docker, and then you do the whole integration test, running everything, and you after it you turn off again. But this is very slow because you always have to run the LLM, to start the LLM, and then doing the stuff, and then and then stop it. And if you want to have an example, I have an example in our source code in GitHub.
Yeah,
right?
There is a test containers right there that is there linked.
Yeah. Then you can just try it. It's very nice, but bit MacBook M4 is still very slow for that part. So you,
So you
you
need
need a powerful
for the local
local
development,
development, right? Yes. And like I said, the conversation should be tested. It is not always non-deterministic. That's the hard part. It's very rough at the moment, and you can also use a lot of textual testing, evaluation, right? So or you can also use another LLMs. That's another LLMs, right?
Okay.
So, but that's really yeah, it's still rough in my opinion.
Now this end is near. What is this? This is
Very nice picture.
yeah, it's the beach in the very most the north of Indonesia is in Banda Aceh, where the tsunami unfortunately happened in the it was the epicentrum though. But as you can see, nice beach and also nice conclusion we will have.
Of course, yes, like it.
Right. So what we have learned is that Chat as Code and Agentic AI platform is a today's standard.
All right, and programming, debugging, and testing are still rough, right? So this is quite new for us also. So it takes time, And
Right.
also we can use LangChain4j and Spring AI for our love code. We have shown you today the LangChain4j and Spring Boot, the combination of it, and using WhatsApp. But still, CRUD remains as essential for tooling. So actually, if you ask or you access the database to create, read, update, deletes, this is actually what the tooling also doing at the begin in the background of the LMs. So this is actually remains the same.
Yeah. But the most important thing is that you should or you must follow the best practices about generative AI, prompting, and also the agent, how to build the agent.
All right, because there are a lot of literature in that moment
Exactly,
about the power,
exactly.
a lot of them.
It's
Just
very
please
important.
read that one before you are beginning from the zero, right? So.
Right.
All right, and the local development first. I'm always a developer who likes to make all the development locally in my MacBook first, right? So using Olama, sometimes also OpenWeb UI as a user interface for Olama, and also Twilio and Grok is also a very good one. And also still at the end, in my opinion, OpenAI GPT model is still very top for the whole tooling stuff.
Right. And this is very important message as well that about microagent. Microagent, what does it mean microagent? That one agent can only have or do one task and one responsibility. This is really important to follow that. So it's not like humans, sometimes they can do multitasking, but doesn't apply with microagent.
All right, and at the end, visit Java Land for the real intelligence in Republic Indonesia. This is not AI but RI. So we invite you all to visit the real intelligence one. Yeah, if you have time,
Exactly.
enjoyable, very nice one. So and we hope that you all enjoy our session.
Yes.
Right, and you have learned something from us.
Yeah, and enjoy our journey on Java.
All right, then happy Java 30 years, right?
Yeah, 30 years. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your
Attention.
attention.